Alright.
Yo, we back with About Life. It's your boy Shane, aka Black Duplicate. What's up? Right. This episode is basically about we're diving back into frequencies and vibrations like we talked about a couple weeks ago. It might have been like 4 or 5 weeks ago. Right now, I'm diving back into it because I found some pretty dope content. Right, about symbology, frequencies, how to determine frequencies, all that good stuff, symbols, and how all that stuff affects you, how the buildings and structures and churches have been giving off, vibrations and frequencies and all this type of stuff. Some stuff that people don't even understand. We're going to dive into all that good stuff. I'm just giving you a quick introduction on what we're going to start with. And we're going to start with this guy came up with some ways of learning about the matrix that we live in, the simulated universe, the time, which we're bound by time. This is a time matrix. That's what this is. We live in a dimension of time, right? Now this video has some dope stuff. This is only part 7. You can go back after the end of this. It's going to show the TikTok. You can go back into that TikTok and watch all the previous parts, which are phenomenal, by the way. I'm just taking this one because it's really cool, and it just hit the nail on the head on at least how I feel about things. I don't know. Everybody's thinking differently, right? But let's get into this real quick. Let's see.
There he found the error correcting codes. He was analyzing and accessing information about the ether of space-time, and he discovered that the entire ether, in other words, everything this soup that we're operating in throughout the entire universe, is running on a specific code. Yep. It's called an Adinkra code. It's called error correcting codes. The same exact kind of codes that run search engines and web browsers. That's what's running the universe. One thing people don't understand is that everything in the third dimension is made of light, and so we are light and light is us. We know that the illusion of this avatar body and this chair I'm sitting on and the table that you're sitting at, what is this? This is slowed down light waves. Mm-hmm. When you slow light down and the consciousness interacts with it, it collapses it what we call solid matter. So solid matter,
everything's light.
Right. For example, the only thing stopping my hand from going through this chair is the repulsion of the electromagnetic frequencies. I don't actually touch the chair, and so
there you go. That's just a little part of it. Like I said, go back into it. Look at all the other parts. Here's the TikTok right here. You are breaking F, right? Look into that, and it will show you a whole bunch of other stuff. Of course, I brought that guy on my podcast many times. So if you go back maybe like 2 weeks ago, you should see him on there as well. I bring him on a lot. He has really dope talks and really dope stuff. I love what he stands for and what he's talking about. Really, really cool stuff. But now that we're into this lady talks about symbology, right? And how that symbology has been right in front of our faces the whole time, being used to do things to us, whether we like it or not, right? It's positive, some positive, and then some negative, right? But she has some pretty interesting thought processes behind it, so let's hit her up.
Is that the Anunnaki around the Tree of Life and a flying spacecraft above it? Or are those giants around a lightning rod emitting frequencies that's causing this machine to levitate? That thing on their wrist sure looks like a cymatic depiction. These are cymatic frequencies,
yes. Sound
made visible, and these are different magnetrons. These are the windows on the cathedrals. They look similar.
Ain't that some shit?
What if that wristwatch is a signature, a vibrational frequency depicting the location for where they teleport from?
What if?
What's in that bag? Or is it a bucket? Different vibrational frequencies produce different structures. See the similarity?
Interesting.
Maybe this doesn't represent the seeding of life. Maybe this is a technological map. How else do you explain this? What if you could travel from one location to another using that signature, that vibrational frequency?
What if?
What if cathedrals were not built for religion, rather for science?
What if?
They're all kind of built the same way. They've got the antenna, they've got the domes, they've got the hexagon water structures inside. Did Did you know that stained glass windows is a form of color therapy? Did you know that orgasm
Interesting.
is a form of vibrational sound therapy?
Interesting.
You're inside a structure like that, you are resonating the sound throughout your body, applying that
Told you got some dope thoughts,
coming
man.
through. You are literally healing yourself, plus the intention, believing that you are getting help from a higher power. That is actually you. Your belief plus the location plus the structure equals healing. Are those electrical maps? Our ionosphere is full of electricity. Every 100 feet you gain more. These antennas draw power. These structures harness them. Then we have these labyrinths on the grounds that look like processors on computers.
Dope.
This is the true yellow brick road. We are harnessing energy and storing them in bricks covered in gold because bricks hold electricity, with the Emerald City acting as the battery. They could also have been using these to structure their water.
Dope.
Either way, there is a lot of hidden history,
Which is holy
ancient
water, right?
technologies
Holy
from our
water,
very
structured
recent
water.
past that has been recently
Reset. Very true. I
Want
agree.
to know more?
I
Look
agree.
up the Tartarian Empire.
Yes. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. Now that she brought that up, that's going to be the next topic we talk about, which is the Tartarian Civilization. It's pretty sick. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of dope stuff behind it. I got like 3 dope dudes on my TikTok that have like fire ass information that I'm gonna bring into here so we could talk about it. But that's the TikTok right here for that lady right there, which is pretty sick. Now that she brings that in, hold on. We're gonna get into symbology, right? Because she was talking about symbologies in those frequencies, right? Now, another person also talked about symbolism in our music, right? And how that affects the frequencies of our bodies. And that's Kanye West. Let's get into it.
Kanye West exposes the truth. The media labeled him crazy.
Of course.
But this is facts.
You know, we have our own daughters and we'll still be rapping about trying to hook up with somebody's daughter. Like not taking the responsibility as a man. That's why I say the song Closed on Sunday is the hardest record ever made, as hard as the NWA record, because it's talking about protecting your kids from the indoctrination of the media.
Look at this
the
guy.
thousands
This
and
guy's
thousands of images
crazy. Look at him.
that
Look
are
at him.
fed to children by the age of 6 or 7.
Look at all them
within
people.
those images,
Images.
there are images mixed in that we don't know about as parents that are purposely mixed in to lower the kids' superpower and esteem
Frequency.
so that
Vibration.
they can be more susceptible
To consumption.
to consumption
Consumption
and feel
machine.
that they need to consume and become a part of the robotic numeric system that controls so much of the media. I just had to say it like this. You can rewind it.
Yeah, you rewind and hear what he just said. Go back and listen if you didn't catch it. Right? He has some pretty dope stuff. Now, everything can be used for positive or negative. Everything. You could take your cell phone and you could research how to fix your financial situation and become a multimillionaire. Or you can use that same exact cell phone to look up porn and completely melt your brain. Right? You can use meditation to transcend this world. Right? Or you can use meditation to completely isolate yourself from society. Right? Which ain't that bad, but you get the drift. You know, you can use money to help your family, or you can use money to buy a whole bunch of guns to kill some people. Right? So everything can be used for positivity or negativity. Right? You saw that woman over there talking about using symbologies and structured water and stuff like that in the cathedrals to heal us. The question is, who actually built them big ass buildings? I know some of them we have, but some of these structures have been around way longer than our civilization, which is why we're going to get into the Tartarian Civilization, which is phenomenal and fantastic. So we're going to get into that and the mud flood and all that good stuff. But so now once you figure out that and you're like, okay, it's negative or positive, how do I use it for positive to impact my life, and what is it, how do I break it down? Now this video right here has interesting concepts on how to kind of understand it in a sense. It might throw you off a little bit unless you do the proper research to help you get into alignment with it. Basically what they're talking about is chakra points, inevitably, right? You have these chakra points, and you have the your whole entire system is built to be able to harness and activate. Basically, you're like a huge antenna for energy and matter and light, right? You're like a moving system, right? And it's pretty interesting how they kind of break it down when it comes to frequencies and how to map your frequency and figure out where you're at.
Did you know that one being, just one, at the level of peace counterbalances 10?
Thank you, Nick Zay, for that wonderful information and for introducing me and many other people to the David Hawkins scale. For those of you who don't know, the David Hawkins scale is a chart showing the spectrum of frequencies and the emotions that those frequencies are associated with. So many people ask me how you can know what frequency you are on. And it's this chart that I think provides the best way of knowing.
Levels of consciousness.
To understand what frequency you are on, you have to think about what your most consistent emotional state is, what your view of life is, what you experience on a day-to-day basis, and what state of mind you feel that you are most consistently in. In doing so, you can discover your associated density, not dimension, because that's a different term, your level of consciousness, and what next step you can take for reaching a higher level of consciousness. Yes. And after doing all that, whichever level you fall on will show you what frequency you are on. And so I installed the David Hawkins scale on this map to show where your consciousness falls on this scale.
Very interesting.
As well. So on the scale, it showed the dimensions and the associated.
Now these are basically like chakra points, right? Like, it's pretty sick how he does it. If you actually follow him and you get into when he was actually constructing, he breaks it all down. It's fantastic. You'll see his TikTok at the end.
But I don't think that part was accurate, because there are 24 perceivable dimensions and 7 perceivable densities, possibly technically 8. For those of you who don't know what densities are, as opposed to dimensions, there are harmonics and there are densities. Densities apply to you if you are still living, and harmonics apply to you if you are in the afterlife. For example, say if you have reached the density of love, of unconditional love, and you are still alive, you are in the 4th density. But if you have passed on and you have made it to this level, you are in the 4th harmonic. When it comes to enlightenment, it's kind of like you have reached 7th density, and when you die, you go straight to 7th harmonic. At least that's my current understanding. And Ashayana Dean explains that each density or harmonic has 3 dimensions. So let's say you have reached 3rd density, your consciousness is experiencing 9 dimensions. However, your physical experience is still at 4 dimensions. Think about it like your spirit comes from the 4th dimension and then gets all the way up to the 9th and is doing the higher work for you. In a similar manner, you are experiencing 4 dimensions, but your frequency of consciousness has gone up. Make sure to go check out that stitched video. Once you've figured out what frequency you're on, the beginning of that video informs you how many negative frequencies you counteract. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll see you all next time.
There's the TikTok right there. There's release a piece of it. You typed it in, I'm sure it'll pop up. But I want to get to this levels of consciousness charts, and I want to look into that and see if we can actually find it. Let this load up real quick, and let's see, levels of, what is it? Consciousness. All right. Load up. Consciousness. Hold on. That's pretty interesting what they have there, but we want to get into a chart and see if we could find that chart for ourselves. Right here. Here's the level of consciousness chart. Let's see. I just want to see because it'll be a nice way for y'all to be able to find it yourself and be able to think about it. Now, I'm not saying you can this thing actually lines up perfectly. Of course not. Of course not. But who knows? Maybe it could be beneficial to somebody. Let's see. Because maybe we could zoom up on it. I can give y'all a closer look on it and you can see what it looks like. More like this. No. Oh, wow. It's on Pinterest. My girl loves Pinterest. I think all girls like Pinterest. No, I don't want to use any of that. But here you go. Well, here's the chart. I can't make it bigger if I continue with Facebook. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. Continue as Shane. Yes, I am Shane. Let's see. Alright, is it letting me? Guess not. Guess it didn't let me. But yeah, this is where you can find it though. Let's see if I could download it. Can I just double click on it? No. Well, I would have to make a Pinterest account, which I know my girl has one. But either way, as you see, dimensions and vibrations has all the dimensions right here. And then levels of consciousness, frequencies, 440. Interesting. This is very interesting. I want to look more deeper into that, which is why I want to look it up myself. I always like to do that. I like to do my own research. That's why I'm trying to really show y'all is Dior. That's one of the big things of this podcast is Dior, to get people to understand that you need to do your own research. You have to, bro. You can't just watch me and watch all these other people and expect us to give you everything, because it doesn't work if it works like that. I've listened to podcasts and people's stuff for a while, and it gives you knowledge and information, but it doesn't change your damn life because you're not taking action with it. You have to take the action, right? That's the value I'm bringing you with this podcast, is giving you the information so you can take action with Dior. You can do your own research and then build something, which is also why I'm building the BASS program, Becoming a Savage, which is going to teach you how to go and seize all the opportunities that come into your pathway so you can make yourself into something instead of just listening to all of us and thinking that's going to help change your life. No, you have to do it. You have to do the work. There's no way of getting around it. It's the way it works. You have to do the work. But I'm bringing the information to show you where to go, to show you where to start. And then you take that nice little start up with the car, boom, but you got to put your foot on the pedal and you got to drive that motherfucker. You got to do it. You know what I mean? I gave you the keys to the car. Right, I gave you the car and I gave you the keys. You got to put in the car, you got to ignite that motherfucker, and you got to go. You got to move. You got to go where you're trying to go. You got to take the action, man. You got to put the action in. So whenever you look up something on like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, whatever, man, see if the information's legit. You know? Like these guys are getting their shit from Pinterest. You know, I don't know if this is real. I don't know. It looks cool, but I don't know. So I have to do more research into it, right? But it's pretty easy to pop up. Doesn't mean that's real because it popped up on Google. No, people make up things all the damn time. We don't know. So we got to do more research into it and see what the heck's going on, which is the reason why I'm showing y'all. Dior, see how quick it was for me to find that? It's not hard, man. It's not hard to Dior. But that's all I got for y'all. I hope y'all took something from that. Next up is the Tartarian Civilization, which is pretty sick. I'm gonna definitely do a deep dive into the information and try to get as much of it as I can so I can bring it onto here. We can talk about it. It's pretty fire stuff. So that will be coming up next, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to my content so I can keep making more and I can improve this. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what I'm doing better so I can improve. I can't improve without feedback. I need feedback from everybody else so I can know how to improve the podcast so we can grow and become better. We are growing. We're up to like 170 something subscribers. By the time you watch this video, it might be a little higher than that. We are growing. Most of that's probably coming from the traffic from my rails. for my comedy skits, my stuff that I do. So make sure you go peep that stuff out too. Give you a good laugh. It's on Instagram and on YouTube as well. So go look into that, get you a good laugh, enjoy yourselves. I love y'all. I'm Black Duplicate. This is About Life Podcast. We out.